This is the first time we actually chatted about, in any of our interviews where we went a little bit more personal, we asked about hobbies and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think people want to find out about how CFOs also spend
not
just their office time, but their free time.
Exactly. And not machines.
Exactly, exactly. You have a background in social science.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
How does that help you in your role as a CFO, or does it help?
In some ways, yes. In general, I think diversity is usually a good thing in management teams or in teams in general, and usually not coming from a business or engineering background is often or you already stand out based on that. Social sciences has to do with politics and society, and it helps to understand that the world is often not black or white. So I think there are many aspects where it's useful, although of course it's only a small part of the person and CFO.
And the reason I ask that is because the main connection that I see is that you're involved in a lot, or you have been involved with a lot of restructuring work. So this kind of like big picture, like you said, almost like politics, those kind of skills, and like you said, negotiation, they all come into play with something like that.
It's definitely one important thing for the CFO is to be able to see the big picture and draw the right conclusions.
Are you typically advising the CEO, or is the CEO coming to you and being like, help, or is it more collaborative, or is it more one directional?
I think the best situation is when it goes both ways. So sometimes it might be the CEO who comes to me with a question, but then it's also my job to have the insight and the courage to and go to him and say that, hey, this thing is not working, or we need to do something about it, because a CFO can't do it on his own, so he needs the CEO and the rest of the management team on board.
What is the most difficult part of restructuring that you had to take responsibility for? What gives you post-traumatic stress syndrome, basically? We've all had these moments.
Yeah, the worst part with restructuring, if it involves cost cutting, is letting people go. So that's everything else is easy to kind of think about, that this is just a job, and this is a little bit tough, but then when you're actually impacting people's jobs in a way like this, that's tough.
How do you recharge your batteries? What do you do to relax?
It's good to have a balance on private side. So just like typical things like exercise and reading books and family and stuff like that may kind of reminds you that in tough times that after all it's only a job, and there are other things that are even more important.
What kind of book genres are you reading at the moment?
Just became a dad 4 months ago, so I just bought a book about development psychology and kind of how children develop into the people they become. So that's kind of the latest.
Cool.
So first time parent, it's really useful, and to get a hang of the big picture and the long term there.
And congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
How long do you spend on financial reporting in a month, would you say?
A few hours per week, probably. What makes it maybe slightly simpler for Verto Analytics compared to some other SaaS companies is that we're a enterprise B2B customers, so it's big customers and a slightly smaller number of them. So that makes it easier to run the analytics, because you don't have a 1,000 invoices going out every month, but it's more like talking tens of of them.
So a few big fish.
Exactly.
How are you involved with the people and panels in Verto? Like, what does that look like?
In short, what Verto's business model is we have 25,000 consumers in the US who have opted in to participate in our panel. What that means is that they get a small compensation, and against that compensation they allow us to basically collect the data, what they do on their devices. And we then collect that data, aggregate it and anonymize it and then sell it to clients like Facebook and Netflix and Microsoft.
It's amazing that we've reached the stage where we have acknowledged as a society the value of this information and are now, in my opinion, correctly paying people for the privilege of using it. It's
yes.
You guys are, dare I say, on a very ethically good side of this, you know?
Yeah, that's definitely what we're trying to do. So we want to turn that thing into a competitive advantage. Like, this is how it should be done. Absolutely. Both from a societal point of view and from privacy point of view and also from a business point of view.
Are there any non-finance KPIs that you like to follow, given your role in the panel, like you said, and also the people?
Yeah, definitely. The panel role is very numbers driven as well.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a funnel based approach that you can take to that one. Acquiring new panelists is a little bit like acquiring new SaaS customers as well. So they go through a funnel and they drop off at certain parts in the funnel. So, for example, they enter our website and then they have to enter their information. They have to install the app on their devices, and then they have to keep the app on their devices in order for it to be valuable for us. So usually some people drop off in the beginning, some people drop off before installing the meter or the app. Some try it out for a few days and notice that, hey, this is using slightly more battery than before. I don't want to use this anymore, or whatever their reason is, and then they uninstall the app. But then there's a certain share of people that remain in the panel for a long time, and we have people that started in the panel back in 2014 when the company was founded and are still there. So they've been very loyal. So but there's a certain churn rate that runs every month. So that's a little bit like a SaaS customer base that you go through a funnel and then you certain churn out all the time, and you have to maintain the balance there.
If you could wave a magic wand, is there any job you would like to do besides being a CFO?
Probably. I mean, I think I still have a lot of things to learn in the current job, but probably at some point I'd like to try to be a CEO as well. But no hurry on that front. And yeah, I've always been interested in reading and in books in general. So maybe sometimes it would be interesting to write a book, but I don't know about the topics and whether it's non-fiction or fiction.
Brilliant. I love fantasy books. Like if dragons and swords and stuff like that, I'm all over that. But I'd never be able to write one.
Yeah. I don't know about the probably more on the non-fiction side.
Non-fiction. But hey, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant to get to know you a little bit better and find out about your background and all.
Likewise.